average college student today graduates with more than $20,000 in student loan debt.
Debt from student loans has exceeded an estimated $1 trillion for the first time, surpassing credit card debt.
The student loan crisis that's looming out there. So please listen to me right now. The future of America depends on us being able to educate our youth. Educate our youth in such a way that when they graduate, they're able to get a job, they're able to afford to rent a place, buy a home, to be able to pay their bills. And it is becoming more and more and more expensive to go to college.
My name's Isabelle. I kept hearing about student loans, and I was about to take $26,000 in student loans myself. However, I found out that there were many alternatives to getting loans and getting an education, so I decided to DIY my education. The best way I could describe this was researching and connecting with like-minded individuals. To do that, I had a fundraiser and started raising awareness for the different alternatives there are for just regular college. I wanted to get people to do more than exist, to not just go with the flow and find opportunities that might be helpful for them. The immediate resource I found was TESOL, teaching English to speakers of other languages, where I could actually make a difference in education at home and abroad. In this case, I held a fundraiser so that I could go abroad with some friends and find out how we could DIY our own education. After fundraising, raising awareness, we had enough money to go abroad to China. Why China? It's something completely different, and one of the first things I learned about experiential learning was to go out and experience the world.
The point of life is not school. The point of life is adventure. And if you don't feel like you are having an adventure right now, then you are probably bored. And if you are spending your time bored, you are literally wasting the time of your life.
Armed with just my camera, some books, my TESOL certificate, and my luggage, I was ready to head out to China. Now, my friends and I did not just want to go out to China and be tourists. We created the Global Education Partnership, where we go out to impoverished areas of the world and go teach English and offer educational resources and fundraisers and actually go out and make a difference. So we arrived in Shanghai, we experienced the food, the culture, something completely different from the West. But then we also talked to entrepreneurs, students, world travelers, and asked them, what is it that we can do to change education? And what's the best way you can get an education? And this is what they had to say.
So if you want to study, I think it should be in the balance of really, is it worth the time plus the money you invest? I think it's great if you have the money, if you have enough money, or you can calculate how much you're going to spend on studying and you plan it well. That's what I would do. If I would be a student now enrolling, I was like, okay, do I really want to spend $100,000 and spend another 15 years to pay it off? So I would really look at my options. First, online study right now. It's getting more established. Nobody's like, oh, online study is not real study. Which is actually even harder because I tried for 6 months and it's really, really tough. I mean, I had to stop it. So I would really think about, okay, is it cheaper to study, for example, in the US or really go abroad, like go to China, like see the world?
I would say whatever situation I was in where I was doing something, actually learning by doing, is where I learned the most. Whether that was in a job or especially in what I'm doing now, running an organization and figuring out problems and overcoming problems and finding solutions, really actually doing things, and rather than having the test be something that is created for you in the form of an exam, have it be really a test of whether what you're doing makes sense and works in the real world. And it's not something that's going to happen 2 months later when you take the exam that you're going to get feedback on, but really something that you get feedback on instantly as you're doing things, I think is by far where I've learned the most.
I think it's good to help steer students towards a certain focus, something that students are really interested in, and something where they have more of a future in. Now I say that, and I'm one who got an anthropology and Asian studies degree, which has really little future, and I wouldn't change that for the world. But it still serves the same purpose, I think. Helping students find a direction earlier has got to be more helpful, and putting them in situations where they actually get more experience learning. Say anthropology, for example, maybe that means participating in an archaeological dig or visiting another country to do participating in a real study, even if you're just kind of a note taker for a professor. I'd see experiences like that being far more valuable than the A through F grading scales of normal classroom work.
I'm sure that there are, for me, what I do as an entrepreneur, I think that format works well. There are probably a lot of careers and a lot of paths where you certainly do need a foundation of schooling. But I studied in college. I studied management, and I also have a degree, a master's degree in financial economics, or I studied a master's degree to finish it in financial economics. And I would say those classes really, even though they're kind of right on target as to, in some senses, what I'm doing now, I wouldn't say that they are tremendously helpful. Much more helpful is to just go through the process of doing things and learn as you're doing it.